Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 48 Detailing. I really appreciate you guys joining us. Today, we're gonna be going over a Dr. Beasley's Nano Resin MX application. We have this beautiful 2018 Mercedes S550, excuse me. We did a full two-stage correction with our NSP lines from Dr. Beasley's, and now we're gonna go ahead and apply the Nano Resin coating to the surface. Now, when this customer came to the shop, he wanted something deep, something rich. He wanted to almost like be able to stick his hands through the actual paint. Now, we have two coating lines here, 48 Detailing, Modesta, and then Dr. Beasley's. Modesta is really gonna give you that glass-like shine, that artificial look like what you see over here on this Corvette, while Dr. Beasley's is gonna give you more so of a richer, deeper luster to your paint. Now, these are very slight, minute differences, but when you do have vehicles side by side, you do notice a difference. So when the customer said he wanted to be able to stick his hand through the paint, wanted really deep and rich, kind of like the cars at Barrett-Jackson, I knew exactly the coating we're gonna go ahead and use for the customer, and that is Nano Resin MX, because that's gonna give you the deepest, most luxurious look to your paint at the end of the day. So you're gonna follow me this way real quick. We're gonna go ahead and show you our coating cart that we got set up over here. This is what we roll around the vehicles when we were doing a coating application. You can see we have a lot of towels, applicators, and things like that. Now, I'm gonna take you step by step through the process of Dr. Beasley's because it's a little bit more unique compared to other coatings on the market. Now, Dr. Beasley's coatings application starts with the actual restoration process. Now, what do I mean by that? We start laying down ceramic as soon as a pad and primer touches the panel. These are called nano surface primers. They are exactly what they're referred to as. They are primers. They actually lay a foundational layer of ceramic and titanium dioxide to the surface to go ahead and set anchor points and increase the thickness of the coating itself. After your priming stage, you pretty much even out what you've removed in clear coat. So we really don't have too much of a difference when it comes to paint thickness after you restore the paint. Now, on your traditional compounds and polishes, you just remove clear. You're not reinstalling anything onto the surface. That's what's so cool and unique about these. They don't contain any waxes, oils, or solvents, so they're safe to all your painted surfaces, and also speed up the process a little bit for us when it comes to restoration service as well. Now, moving on from there, you have your paint coating builder. That's this little bottle over here. Now, what the paint coating builder is setting even more anchor points on the surface and increasing the thickness as well. So this is, you're looking right around 2 to 3 microns. With paint builder, you're looking at another 2 to 3 microns. After the actual coating is installed, you have a total thickness of somewhere around 7 to 8 microns worth of thickness with this whole system together. So this system creates the thickness, the durability, the gloss and shine. The thicker that coating is, the more deep and luxurious the paint's gonna look at the end of the day. Think about clear coat, for example. You have your factory clear coat jobs like on this C8 Corvette or that Rivian over there measuring only about 3 to maybe 4 mils worth of paint. Now, when you look at show cars, cars that have $30, $40, $50,000 paint jobs, there's 100, 200, 300, sometimes even 800 plus millimeters worth of paint that we're working with. And that's why those cars look so good. Of course, it's a sanding process and the polishing process, but at the end of the day, the thicker that layer of paint and coating is, the better the car is gonna look at the end of the day, more candy-like shine it's gonna provide your vehicle. So I'm just gonna roll this over that way. I feel like a bus boy, but it's what it is. And we're gonna go ahead and start the coating process. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my bracelets like every good detailer should. And I gotta admit, sometimes I forget to, so my fault. But again, I'm not a detailer anymore. It's what it is. All right, moving on. We're gonna go ahead and start the coating process on the hood itself and then continue the process throughout the vehicle. I'm gonna move the NSPs out of the way because we've already finished that. Get the paint restored. We'll show you some clips of that paint and the quality of the restoration in a few moments. Gonna go ahead and shake up our builder application. Very simple to use. We prime our applicator, make sure that the applicator is clean. You know, even brand new applicators straight out of the packet might have some cardboard or some contamination in it, so you just wanna make sure they're clean. You're gonna prime the applicator, and then we're also gonna go ahead and spray it onto the surface itself. And you can see how thick this stuff is. Bring that camera in, check this out. See how I spray, it just stays on the surface? It's very viscous. And same thing with all the nano resin coatings, is they're very viscous, very thick because there's so much solid content in the actual coating itself. So we're gonna go ahead and just spread this evenly across the surface. You can see how nice and smooth that it applies to the surface and how much darker it's gonna make this paint. And this is where that depth comes from. It's that the NSPs, the thickness of the builder, and then the gloss and the protection agents are gonna be in the actual coating itself, that nano resin application that we do after the builder application. Apply it right there. Work on this fender. Now while I'm applying, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the NSPs. If you have used NSPs in the past, you will notice that they are unique products. They don't work similarly to other polishes on the market. Again, the abrasives are ceramic. The transfer solution is ceramic. There's ceramic in all of them. There are no organic substances in these products because why would you want a wax or oil sitting underneath your coating? It's not gonna bond properly, right? So some of you guys might run into some issues after you're done polishing the vehicle with the primers, and you'll see there might be like a haze or some kind of cloudiness on the paint. That's completely normal. I'll show you an example of that cloudiness in a few moments. That is the primer looking for adhesion. And what's adhesion? Adhesion is a surface that's ready for something to get bonded to, all right? There's a lot of products on the market, prep solvents and prep products for coatings that you apply to your paint to remove all the waxes and oils and things of that nature from the surface before coating application. But for some reason, all those prep solvents and all those prep products make that surface super slick. How do you bond something to something that's super slick? It doesn't really work that well. You'll notice after using the NSP line, it makes that surface kind of tacky, kind of grabby. And that's that adhesion that we're talking about. I want that surface grabby. I want that surface tension to change so the coating has something to properly bond onto. So I'm gonna go ahead and build, essentially, this whole front end before I even start buffing off. We want this stuff to sit. We want it to not flash, but we want it to properly bond to the surface because it's a very thick substance and it needs some time to go ahead and properly activate itself onto the substrate of the paint. So I'm gonna continue on the bumper real quick and we'll bring you guys back in just 1 second. Good morning, Joanna. You're supposed to turn around. Get her in the camera. There she is. There she is. All right, guys, so we went ahead and applied builder on the whole front clip of the vehicle. It's been sitting there for about 2 to 3 minutes now. Showed you a couple clips on how builder looks like after that 2 to 3 minute stage. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my initial leveling towel. Leveling towel. We're not removing product from this, we're just leveling it. So it's nice and gentle. These are 70-30 blend towels. So they are gonna be on the softer side. They are thin because I don't want my leveling to go ahead and pick up too much product. I'm just trying to level out the product itself. And after the leveling process, we're gonna come in with a very plush 500 GSM 70-30 Korean blend towel and then remove the final product. And you see I'm being very gentle with it. We're working with black paint here. Black Mercedes paint on top of that. So it is on the softer side of things after you restore it. Something to take note of. Not scrubbing, not dubbing, just leveling. Right, Nora? Gotta be gentle with it. Now I do like to mention how long you leave this on the surface is gonna depend on your climate that you're working in. It's pretty cool in the shop right now. We got the air running, our air filtration system's on, so there's a lot of ambient air running through the shop, so it's not too bad, not too humid. But if you're in a very humid climate or doing it in the sun, I hope you're not. All this should be done indoors for the most part. But make sure to take note and then work at the speed that's required to make sure nothing cures too hard on the surface. Now I'm going to come in with my softer towel just to go ahead and finish off the surface. And you'll notice as you're buffing off, it becomes very buttery. Not slick, buttery. Because slickness does not mean ease of cleaning. It's just a feeling. That's all that is. There's a lot of products out there that feel slick, but when you go to wash them, nothing comes off. Or after you're done applying them, they collect dust like nothing else out there. Slickness does not mean ease of cleaning or good for your vehicle. Feels nice, but you shouldn't be touching your car's paint anyways. Touch your wife, not your car. Only if she wants you to touch her though, okay? Relationship advice from 48 Detailing. You're welcome. All right guys, so we're gonna continue the building process on the rest of the vehicle. Now this is only gonna go on to the painted surfaces. You can apply it to chrome and faux aluminum surfaces as well, but there are dedicated coatings that Dr. Beasley's provides for those types of services. We are gonna apply it to the chrome on this vehicle. The customer did not pay extra for the dedicated coating, so we still wanna make sure we offer protection on as many substrates as possible, but you wanna avoid things like glass and plastics when it comes to both the Builder and the Nano Resin MX application. All right, car is built. Now it's ready to coat. So before we move on to that, you're more than welcome to layer Builder as much as you want. Typically on your average size vehicle, you can get about 2 layers from that bottle. The more layers you do, again, the thicker the coating is gonna be and the more gloss, shine, and depth you're gonna have to coating. We use the whole bottle here for our customers. That's what they're paying for. That's why we have the premium that we do. So we're gonna use the whole bottle of also the Builder and then also Nano Resin MX or whatever coating we're using. But now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the actual coating application. This is that top layer of the coating, the protection, the sheeting ability, the hydrophilic effects, and then also the candy-like gloss, the hardness, all that good stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and open up the bottle. Take our little pipette, primer pad. I wanna make sure I use a good amount of my pad when I'm priming because it is a dry applicator. Again, we're using a fresh applicator on this one, guys. Just like that. Go ahead and start on the hood. I'm gonna remove my watch and bracelets again. And let us start the coating process. Very similar to what we did with the Builder when it comes to application. Obviously we're not spraying on and we're gonna be working much smaller sections as the stuff cures a lot quicker. So I'm gonna go ahead and just coat half the hood. Again, our environment, take that in consideration. I know with the temperature and the humidity that we got, we can actually do half a hood without any issue. And as you can see, this stuff, just like Builder, goes on thick with a double C. That's what we like. We like the gloss sauce thick. So the thicker it is, the better it's gonna look. Oof, oof. If you want to talk a little bit about efficiency, I'm just going to take my applicator again, apply more coating, move on to the next section, excuse me. So by the time I'm done applying here, I can go there, start buffing that bad boy off, and then continue the process. You know, I had a guy comment once, I can't believe you're wearing jeans and a belt while coating a car. You're not a detailer. You don't know what you're doing. And to that guy, I say, how about you just don't touch the goddamn car with your jeans and your belt and you'll be fine. It's being aware of your surroundings. Staying cautious. People, man, people. Right, Nora? Huh? What? My camera girl isn't even paying attention. You didn't hear what I said? All right. It's okay. The camera did. The people did. The people of YouTube did. That's all I care about at the end of the day. All right, coating is down. I'm gonna start leveling over here on this section to complete buff off, and then I'll move on to the next section. You can see the coating is starting to bond to the surface. It doesn't flash, it doesn't really sweat. And the reason why it doesn't is because there's not really any solvents or things of that nature that need to flash or sweat. And I'm just leveling. I'm not buffing, not removing, just leveling. Put my leveling towel here. This is my second leveling towel. And then my final buff off. And I use the plushest and softest as my final buff off because I don't have as much excess coating to have a barrier between the towel and the actual paint. Remember, we're working on a soft Mercedes paint. Joanna and Ian spent a long, long time yesterday getting this thing compounded and polished out. So I want to make sure I take care of their hard work and be very gentle with the paint during the coating application. Boom, look at that. Woo, that's pretty. You waving at yourself over there? Yeah. It's like a mirror. You might as well put it in your room. Look at yourself in it. And the hood is coated. Now we're going to continue this process along the rest of the vehicle, section by section during the coating application. Now, one thing to take note of, this car looks amazing. The section that we just coated looks remarkable now. It's going to look even better 7 to 12 days from now after this coating cures. And typically, these longer term coatings, anything past that 5-year mark, that 7-year mark, or 10-year mark, it takes some time for the coating to reach a complete cure because of how thick the coating is. The thicker the cake, the longer it's going to take to bake, baby. So you want to make sure you give these coatings time to cure. So during that 7 to 12 day time frame, you don't want to get the car wet, you don't want to wash it. You can drive the vehicle, even though we recommend you to minimize the amount of drive time, but you can drive the vehicle. One other thing we do here at the shop, if the customers do need the vehicle immediately, we do have an IR curing lamp to speed up the process so that initial cure can be done in less than an hour. But since this car is staying here over the weekend, it's not going to be picked up until later next week. We're just going to let it naturally cure, and then the customer will pick it up with even more gloss and shine from there on out. Now, we're going to continue the coating process throughout the rest of the vehicle, or should I say, Joanna's going to continue the coating process on the rest of the vehicle. And I'm going to go ahead and take care of a couple other things, and we're going to meet, regroup, and go over the final results. All right, guys, so here is the finished product. Myself and Joanna went ahead and completed the coating application. As you can see, it looks remarkable. Exactly what the customer is looking for. Wanted to be able to almost like stick your hands through the paint. That's how deep you want it to look, and that's exactly what you get from Nano Resin MX in our coating line. So again, just a quick overview. Went ahead and did a 2-step paint correction on this bad boy with the NSPs. Went ahead and performed the builder application. We did 2 layers of builder. We just used the whole bottle on the vehicle, and then we used the whole bottle of Nano Resin MX on the vehicle as well. And again, the painted surfaces, the faux aluminum, and also chrome have all been protected and coated. This is a 7+ year Nano Resin coating that provides sheeting ability rather than beading ability. So if you have troubles with water spots and things like that, this is a great coating option for you. Besides that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions at all, feel free to throw them in the comment section below. I'd be more than happy to help out. Thanks again for joining us, and have a great rest of the day.